Good morning everyone. Myself Vibha Srivastav, Assistant Professor CSE Department from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. My topic for today's lecture is from Unit 4 and the topic is group theory. So now we start with some example. As the topic is group theory, so we have to memorize something about the group. So there should be some property that must be satisfied for a group. That is, first, closure property, second, associativity, inverse, and last but not the least, that is commutativity. So if first and second these properties satisfied, then it is called as semi group. And if first, second and third means closure property, associativity and identity, these three properties satisfies, then it is called as semi group with identity, which is also known as monoid. Semi group is identity is also called as monoid. If first, second, third and fourth means closure property, associativity, identity and inverse, all the four properties exist, then it is called as group. And if all the five properties, that is closure, associativity, identity, inverse and commutativity exist, then it is called as abelian group. So according to the different type of question, if it said what is monoid, then we have to check all the three properties. If in a question it is asked that what is, check whether it is a group or not, so we have to check all the four properties. And if in a question it is asked that check whether it is an abelian group or not, then we have to check all the three properties. As we can consider this example, let Z star be an algebraic structure where Z is the set of integer, and operation is multiplication, and the equation is given as this: n cross m is equal to maximum of n comma n. Means the equation n cross m, the value for this is maximum value of m and n. So what we have to check, show whether that Z star, what is Z? Z is the set of integer, is a semi group or not. Check whether it is also as monoid or not. What is semi group? We have to check closure property and associativity. If both the two properties exist, then it is semi group. What is monoid? Closure property, associativity and identity exist, then it is monoid. So for semi group we have to check first and second property. For monoid we have to check first, second and third according to the question and justify with your answer. So first we have to check the closure property, because it is said in the question that check whether it is a semi group or not. So for the semi group we have to check closure property. So what is the closure property? If the equation is given that A cross B is equal to maximum value of A and B, there should be between the A cross B, if A and B belongs to Z, set of integer, then the maximum value is either A or B, that is A or B. So A or B also belongs to the set of integer, therefore closure property exists. Then next property, associativity. What is the associative property? With respect to the multiplication operation A cross B cross C, this is equal to A cross B cross C. If left hand side is equal to right hand side, then this property exists, otherwise this property will not be exist. So we have to check for this particular expression A cross B. What is the meaning of m cross n? This is the maximum value of m comma n. So if we solve A cross B within the bracket, then maximum of A comma B cross C. This is the first value, this is the second value, this is also equal to A cross, what is the value of B cross C? This is the maximum of B comma C. Now this is the first value, this is the second value, this is the first and this is the second. So suppose this is x, x cross C means maximum of x comma C. Suppose this is the value x, so maximum of what we can write A, B and C. Okay, so if we solve this, then in the left hand side we will get maximum of A, B, C. Same process, this is the first value and this is the second value. First cross second is equal to maximum of first comma second. So this is equal to maximum of A comma B comma C. So we can see here left hand side is equal to right hand side. So the associative property exists. Now for the second, next. So because of closure and associativity, we can say that it is a semi group. Okay. It is also asked in the question whether it is a semi group or not. So it is a semi group because closure and associativity exist. For the monoid, we have to check the identity element. What is the property of identity element? A into E. If we multiply any element with the identity element, we will get the element. Okay. Here E is the identity. So for this particular operation N cross M. So if we say A cross E, this is equal to, what is the definition? Maximum of A comma E. This is equal to, as we all know that identity element is the minimum element. So the value of maximum of A comma E, this is equal to A. So what will be the value? Can we find the value of identity element? No. So here identity element does not exist. Therefore we can say that identity does not exist. So it is not a monoid. It is a semi group, but it is not a monoid. So what is the question? Z is the set of integer with the operation multiplication. Check. This is the equation given, N cross M is equal to maximum of N comma M. So what we have to check, whether it is a semi group, it is a monoid. So it is a semi group, but it is not a monoid. This is the answer. Now coming to the next question. For the group theory, again, what is the question? Show that the set of all the positive rational number forms an abelian group under the operation composition, which is defined as, what is defined? A cross B is equal to AB divided by 2. What we have asked in this question, check whether it is an abelian group. So again, how many properties we have to check? We have to check the closure property, associativity, identity, inverse and also the commutativity. If all the three properties exist, then it will be an abelian group. Otherwise, if any of the property does not exist, then it is not an abelian group. So now considering with the example A, where A is a set of all the rational number. Suppose there are three elements A, B, C which belongs to the set A. So if we are talking about the closure property, operation is multiplication. So as we know that the product of two rational number is also the rational number. So if AB belongs to A, then the value of A cross B will also belongs to A. So we can say that the closure property exists. Next, associativity. What is the associative property? A cross B cross C, this is equal to A cross B cross C. So we have to solve according to the equation. What is the meaning of A cross B? The value of A cross B is equal to, if we are talking about the left hand side of the equation, that is A cross B cross C. This is equal to, A cross B means AB divided by 2. This cross C, this is X, X cross C means first element into second element divided by 2. So what value of this? This is A, B, C divided by 4. Now in the right hand side, this is equal to A cross B cross C. So B cross C is B into C divided by 2. So if we solve B cross C, so this is B C divided by 2. Again, first element cross second element. So the definition is first dot second divided by 2. This is A B C divided by 4. So here left hand side value is ABC divided by 4 and right hand side of the value is also ABC divided by 4. So we can say that the associative property exists. Now we have to check the identity element. We have to check the identity element. So what is the property for the identity element? We have to check A into E. If we multiply any element with the identity element, we will get the element again. Okay. So here A into E, this is equal to the definition of A into E, this is equal to A E divided by 2. If we talk about this is the first equation, and A into E, as we all know that if there is an identity element E, so if we multiply A into E, we will get A again. So from equation 1 and 2, if we substitute A into E divided by 2, this is equal to A, then what is the value of E? That is 2. So identity element is, the value of identity element is 2. So we can say that 2 also belongs to the set A, as set A is the set of positive rational number. So identity element exists. So now we will check for the inverse. What is the property of inverse? E is equal to, here the value of E is equal to 2, then A into B. Suppose B is the inverse of A, this is equal to the identity element. As we all know that if we multiply the element with the inverse element, we will get the identity element. So by using this property and the equation which is given in the question, A into B, this is equal to AB divided by 2. Also if the inverse of A is B, A inverse, this is equal to E, and the value of E is 2. So from equation number 1 and 2, we can say that AB divided by 2, this is equal to 2. Then what value of B? B is equal to A upon, B is equal to 4 upon A, which also belongs to the set A. So here the inverse of B is 4 by A. So inverse also exists. A star is a group. We can say that A star is a group. Why? Because we have checked closure property, it is exist, associativity also exists, identity also exists, and inverse also exists. So because of these 4 properties, we can say that it is a group. Last but not the least, commutativity. We have to check for the commutativity. If this property exists, then it will be an abelian group. So what is the commutative property? A cross B is equal to B cross A. So the definition which is given in the equation, A cross B means AB divided by 2, and B cross A, we can say that BA divided by 2, both are equal. So here commutativity exists. So because of all the 5 properties which is exist in this question, so we can say that this is an abelian group. I think this is clear about the monoid group and abelian group. So we can take one more question. In a group G with the operation multiplication, we have to show that the identity element, if exists, then it is unique. If we say that in a particular set of element, there should not be more than one identity element. If the identity element, then it is unique. How we can show? Suppose there are 2 elements E1 and E2. These are the 2 identity elements. So what is the property of identity element? If we multiply the identity element with another element, we will get the element. So we are using this property. Here E1 and E2 are the 2 identity. So E1 into E2, this is equal to E1. Why? Because here we are considering E2 is the identity. So if we multiply E2 with E1, we will get E1. And here if we are talking about E1 is the identity, then E1 into E2, this is equal to, because this is the identity, then we will get this element. So from equation 1 and 2, what we can say that E1 and E2 are not the different element. E1 and E2 are both the same element. So we can say that the identity element, if exists, then it is unique. Same process with the inverse element. In a group with the operation star, we have to show that the inverse element, if exists, then it is unique. Again, if we are talking about the inverse element more than one, suppose for the element 1, there are two elements B and C which belongs to G, and E is the identity and B and C are the inverse of A. Here we are taking two elements for the inverse of A. So if B is the inverse of A, as we know that the property of inverse A into A inverse, this is equal to the identity element. So here the inverse of A is B. A into B, this is equal to the identity element. This is the equation number 1. If we are talking about C is the inverse of A, then A into C, this is equal to again E. So from equation number 1 and 2, A into B is equal to, this is equal to E. So we can substitute both the equation A into B, this is equal to A into C. So by the left cancellation law, this implies that B is equal to C. So for the particular group, we can say that B and C are not the different element. B and C are both the same element which are the inverse of A. So here we can say that in a group, if identity exists, then this will be the unique element. If inverse, then there is a unique element for every element. Inverse exists. One more derivation is also given, that in a group G star, we have to show that, what we have to show that this A cross B ka whole inverse, this is equal to B inverse O A inverse. Here the operation is multiplication. So what we can say that the inverse of A cross B, the value of inverse of A cross B, this is equal to A. B inverse cross A inverse. So how can we solve this example? Let the inverse of element A into B, inverse of A into B, this is equal to K. That is, we have to suppose A into B whole inverse, this is equal to K. So by the property of inverse, A, this is the element, A into B, this is the element, the in A, O, A inverse, this is equal to the identity element, as we all know. So this is the element and this is the inverse of this element. This is equal to the identity element. What we have to write here, what we have to take the B inverse cross A inverse. So if we multiply both sides by B inverse cross A inverse cross A inverse A into B into K, this is equal to E cross B inverse O A inverse. So if we solve, then we will get, B inverse O B O A inverse O A O K, this is equal to E O B inverse O A inverse. So A O A inverse, B O B inverse, this is equal to the identity element E O K, this is equal to E O B inverse O A inverse. So E and E, this is E O K is equal to E O B inverse O A inverse. So this implies that K is equal to B inverse O A inverse. What is K? K is the inverse of A into B. So if we substitute the value of K, so A into B whole inverse, this is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So this proof is also very important. The method of solving such type of proof, we have to take the inverse property A inverse, this is equal to E. So I think this is enough for the today's lecture. We will meet in the next lecture. So for more update, you can see more lecture. So thank you very much. Thank you.